Valorant players rate CSGO knives.
I asked Valorant players to rate every CSGO vanilla knife on a scale from 1 to 10, and here's how it went. But before we jump into the results, I made a new Discord server to see what will happen when you have two clashing communities such as Val and CS
I like that
together
video
in the
idea.
same room. So if you're interested
We'll give it a shot, it's just 4 minutes.
in the complete chaos that the server will cause, you can find a link to it at the top of the description. And without further ado, let's jump right into it.
He sounds like a Valorant player. He sounds like Thursday evening, quick little movie with the E-Kitten on Discord. It is what it is.
In number 19, we have the Navaja knife, and this is not something that will come across as surprising, as this knife is simply very bad. The shiny wooden handle taking up 2/3 of the knife is just horrendous, and I'm not sure how this knife even got approved to the game. Next up, we have the Gut knife. It was actually the first knife I ever owned back in 2015, so it pains me to see it this low, but just as the Navaja, it was expected to happen. In number 17, we have the Shadow Daggers.
Butt
In
plugs are
Valorant,
nice.
there are a few knives that have blades in 2 hands, and the community generally dislikes them. So the Shadow Daggers getting the 17th spot in the ranking does not surprise me whatsoever. Moving over to number 16, we have the Huntsman knife. First surprise of the video, but don't you worry.
Are there
a few
20
more to come
different
down the
knives?
road. In number 15, we have the Ursus knife.
Bro, if you would ask me, name all the CSGO knives, I don't think I could name 20.
On the outside, it looks quite basic, nothing too special, but the simple design and the inspect animation probably made it rank higher than the other.
Ursus knife is nice.
mentioned.
The one thing that I love about the Ursus knife, you heard it right there, bro. The sound design. The fucking whip out animation. The... If you know, you know. And the... when you spin it.
Rank higher than the other 4
It's
previously
so
mentioned.
fucking nice.
And
Some of the nicest...
basic, nothing too special.
Some of the
but
nicest
simple
sounds in
design and the
CSGO.
inspect animation probably made it rank higher than the other 4 previously mentioned. In number 14, we have the Falchion knife, and this one
Ursus
is a hit or
below
miss for
Falchion.
many people. Personally, I expected this knife to be near the end of the list, but it actually got some justice from the votes. Moving over to number 13, we have the Survival knife. Pretty average looking knife. It's not actually that bad, but it's also not that special either. And yeah, there's not much else to really say about it. In number 12, we have the Nomad knife, and in my opinion, it's a pretty underrated knife, and I hoped it would be slightly higher on the list, but either way, not a bad spot.
Happy
In number
birthday,
11,
Gango.
we have the Stiletto.
Nomad knife, bro, I feel like has been gotten some real popularity because Simple was using one. All of a sudden, fucking price almost doubled or whatever, and everybody wanted one. Sparkle's video I'll check after. It's just 2 more
High on the
minutes.
list, but either way, not a bad spot. In number 11, we have the Stiletto knife, and just as the Falchion, this one is a complete hit or miss. You'll either love it or absolutely hate it. It kind of reminds me of Arya Stark's needle sword from Game of
Rated
Thrones, so
kinda
that
low,
knife
bro.
kind of gets a small plus from me, but I can completely understand why it's so hated. In the top 10 spot, we have the Paracord knife, and you could say
Trash. Sorry, bro. Paracord knife, goofy.
it's the better looking sibling of the Survival knife. The rope handle is actually really nice, and the blade itself is cool too. In number 9, we have the Bowie knife, and
Nice.
this one
Good
to me
bunch
is
of
pretty
knife.
surprising, as I'm not the biggest fan of it myself, and I feel like some of the knives mentioned earlier are definitely nicer than this one. But either way, the Bowie knife made its way to the upper half of the ranking. In number 8, we have the Classic knife, and I'm not sure how many people in the voting even played CS 1.6 or Source in the past, but I'm glad the knife got the rating it deserved. I mean, the nostalgia is just crazy with this one. In number 7, we have the Bayonet, and it has one of my favorite pull-out animations, and it's just a great knife in general.
Number 1, the Valorant community 100% chose Karambit.
I was slightly worried it might not rank as high due to being pretty simple.
I
but
bet
number
money
7
on
is
that.
probably the most fair position it could have gotten. Coming in at number 6, we have the Flip knife, and this is the third surprise of the video,
Butterfly.
in my opinion. The knife is pretty good, but it ranked way higher than I imagined it to rank. Either way, very simple, clean looking knife, and it pairs great with the op. In number 5, we have the M9 Bayonet. Very clean
So
looking knife, and I
sexy.
don't think there's anyone out there who actually dislikes this knife. It doesn't have a special inspect animation or anything, but the knife itself is just really good. In number 4, we have the Skeleton knife. When making this pull, I was pretty certain that this knife would rank in the top 5, as it has pretty much the same design as the Valorant Go Volume 1 knife. And even though that knife has a
The
horrible
fuck is that? Why do they have to make everything look so cringe? Why is there half of a guy on there?
one knife. And even though that knife has a horrible skin, everybody loves it for its satisfying pull-out animation. And before we continue with the top 3, as of now, only 0.2% of you are subscribed to the channel. Really helps me a lot. Okay, enough of the shameless begging. In the number 3 spot, we have the Talon knife. And before making this pull, I was really curious whether it would rank higher than the Karambit, but I'm glad it didn't. It's a fantastic knife. I really love the blade, but the weird handle and the pull-out animation really brings the knife.
0.2.
Coming in at number 2, we have the Karambit. It's
subscribe.
just a beautiful looking knife. Nothing to really dislike about
Okay,
it.
butterfly above Karambit. That's
And
fair.
it definitely deserves its runner-up spot in this ranking. And last but not least, we have the Butterfly knife taking the first place on this list.
It's the more ADD knife as well, so it makes sense the Valorant community rates it higher.